The movie begins with shots of a beach where a young boy playing with a soccer ball in the sand finds a floating surfer's helmet with an action camera. The boy studies the video footage of the surfer riding the waves. Suddenly, however, the video changes to footage of panic, and in the next frames a great white shark pounces on the surfer with the camera. The boy runs away with the camera from this beach in terror. Soon we see a young and beautiful girl named Nancy. The girl is driving a car down the road looking at a photo in her smartphone of some woman and a picturesque beach. The driver asks, "Who is that?" The girl replies that it's her mom and she was the one who recommended this beach for surfing. Nancy also shows a photo of her younger sister, to which the driver, named Carlos, says there's no need to look at a smartphone when there's natural beauty all around. The girl agrees, and finally turns her attention to the beautiful jungle. Soon the girl receives a message that her friend cannot come to the beach because she got drunk at the hotel. Nancy criticizes her friend, and the friend promises to come later. Soon the car arrives at the beach, and it is exactly the beach from the photo, and it looks perfect. The girl looks very happy, because she has wanted to get here for a long time. There is already a couple surfing on the beach. Nancy offers Carlos money for the trip, but the man refuses to take it, as he gave her a ride on the way and lives not far away. Carlos clarifies how the girl is going to get out of here later. The girl says something about Uber and then says goodbye to an uncomprehending Carlos. The man goes home. The girl lays out her things, changes her clothes, and gathers her surfboard. Then she takes the board and runs to the water. The girl swims and enjoys the gorgeous waves and the atmosphere of freedom. However, Nancy struggles to overcome the current, but surfing still brings her pleasure. The girl swims up to two surfers, one of whom has an action camera attached to his head. Nancy asks about the dangers in these waters, and the guys warn about an island that appears at low tide, as well as red stinging coral. The boys invite Nancy to swim with them, but she declines. Soon a big wave appears and Nancy shows a high surfing class, making the guys admire her. After a swim, the girl gets out of the water and onto the beach. Nancy has a snack for later entering the water. Then the girl looks at photos on her smartphone. We see beautiful shots of her mother, replaced by others of a woman undergoing chemotherapy. These images make the girl feel sad. The heroine telephoned her little sister and shows her a beautiful beach, and the little girl rejoices. But Nancy gets worried when she finds out that her sister is all alone. However, then the phone is picked up by her father, with whom our heroine does not want to talk. The man demands an explanation why the girl is in Mexico, but Nancy does not know what to say, because she ran away from classes in medical college. We learn that Nancy's mother died, and so the girl decided to run away from her problems. Soon the girl goes to the sea again, but as she is leaving, she gets a text message from her friend that she is not coming at all. The male surfers swim to shore and warn the girl that it's getting late, however Nancy wants to ride one more wave. The girl sees the guys leaving the beach, and the heroine worries that they might steal her stuff, but the guys aren't interested. Suddenly the girl feels some kind of movement underwater, but it turns out to be just a playful dolphin, and it turns out that there is a whole pack of dolphins. However, the girl soon notices a whale carcass with bite marks. This catches Nancy's interest, and trying to get a closer look, she swims into a bloody puddle spreading from the carcass. The girl gets scared, and swims to shore catching a wave. But suddenly a large shark swimming in the wave knocks Nancy off the board. The heroine hits the reef and immediately resurfaces. The girl swims to the board and does not guess about the shark, but suddenly the predator bites her leg and pulls her underwater. The heroine struggles to swim away, and climbs onto the whale carcass. Her leg bleeds, and the girl uses a belt to tug the wound. At this time, the guys have already gotten into the car and are driving away, despite the girl's screams. The shark begins to attack the whale carcass, and the heroine has to hold on as hard as she can to avoid falling into the water. The girl realizes her terrible situation and begins to look for rescue options. Nancy sees a buoy, but it is too far away. However, there is a low tide at sea, which exposes a rocky island to swim to. At this time, a shark rams a whale, and Nancy jumps into the water. During the escape to the island, one of the seagulls crashes into the girl and damages wing. Our heroine manages to swim to the island, but steps on fire coral, which causes severe pain. Now the girl is safe on a small rocky island, in the company of a wounded seagull. However, the shark bite is still bleeding, and using earrings and a chain and pendant, the heroine ties the edges of the wound together, then bandages it with a wetsuit. Night falls, and the temperature drops. The girl needs the suit to keep warm, but she uses it to bandage the wound, which is being eaten away by the salt water. The girl tries to tear the suit, but it goes nowhere as it is very strong. Later, however, with the help of a sharp necklace and her teeth, Nancy manages to tear off the sleeve. Soon small crabs crawl out onto the rock. The heroine tries to eat them, but they are not edible at all. Nancy notices her board on the water. The girl decides to try to swim to her, but sees a shark's fin, and immediately swims back to the island. Later, the heroine notices some man sleeping on the shore. The girl screams loudly and long, and the man gets up. However, instead of helping the girl, the man steals her phone, money, and belongings. The thief also notices a surfboard and wants to take it for himself. The man decides to swim for the surfboard, but the hapless thief is eaten by a shark. The thief even somehow makes it to the shore, but only without his lower body. The next morning comes and the tide begins to rise. The surfers come to the beach again. The heroine comes to her senses and notices the guys when they are already in the water. Nancy tries to warn the men about the shark. The surfers reply that there are no sharks on this beach. However, one man then swims ashore to call for help and the other man heads for the girl. But our shark attacks the first man first and then eats the second man as well, snatching him right out of Nancy's arms. It's midday, the heat comes in, and the sun is scorching, and the heroine tries to cover herself from the sun with a piece of surfboard left over from the other guy. The girl treats a seagull's dislocated wing. Nancy sees a camera floating on the waves. Using a stopwatch, our heroine calculates the time it takes for the shark to swim from the whale carcass to hers. The girl swims to another island, near which the camera is floating. Nancy manages to pick up the camera, but immediately she is attacked by a shark, swimming out from the other side of the reef. However, the predator is unable to reach its victim. Nancy watches a video recorded by surfers and sees a shark. The girl notices that there is a harpoon sticking out of its jaw, which apparently is the reason for the predator's displeasure. The tide is increasingly flooding the girl's island. Our heroine decides to record a video, telling about herself and giving her last wishes for her relatives, because she does not hope that she will be able to survive. Then she puts a seagull on a shard of board and sends it to the shore. And the girl throws the camera with the video towards the shore. Time is passing, but the girl does not dare to swim to the buoy, because she realizes that time may not be enough for this swim. However, the girl notices 100 jellyfish, which the shark is afraid of, and rushes into the swim. The predator almost catches up with Nancy, but the girl swims to the jellyfish, and wading through them, swims to the buoy. Climbing up to the buoy, the girl breaks off part of the ladder, and falls right on top of the shark. But then Nancy manages to save herself. The buoy turns out to be very old and partially corroded, but the structure still gives protection to the girl. After a while, the heroine notices some ship, and finding a signal pistol on the buoy, opens the box with a sharp splinter. But the cartridges fall out to sea, and the girl fishes one out at the risk of her life. Nancy tries to shoot, but the cartridge turns out to be defective, and this shot is unlikely to be noticed on the ship. Then the heroine fishes out another cartridge and fires again, but by this time the ship has already disappeared behind the rocks. The next morning comes. We see the boy find the camera and notice the girl on the buoy. The boy watches the video, and in the meantime, a shark attacks the buoy and rips the anchoring chain off of it. The boy runs off somewhere, taking the action camera with him. The heroine fights off the shark by shooting at it, but this only briefly scares the predator away. Soon the shark goes in for another hit, but the girl shoots the fat surrounding the dead whale. The fat catches fire and ignites the shark, however the predator dives in and puts out the fire on itself. Then the shark overturns the buoy with the girl and throws her off. However, Nancy manages to hide in the iron structure. The predator wants to devour its victim, but cannot reach her. During the attack, the shark clings to the buoy with a harpoon sticking out of it. At this time, Nancy hooks onto the last chain holding the buoy. The predator rips off the harpoon and at the same time breaks off the last chain, which starts to fall down and pulls our heroine with it. The shark chases the girl at full speed. At the very bottom, the heroine turns aside, and the shark crashes with its open mouth into a sharp structure to which the chain was attached. The predator dies. We see a boy who has got his father, Carlos, to the shore. The man fishes out a girl floating near the shore and drags her to shore. Carlos performs CPR and the girl regains consciousness. Nancy sees a seagull that has also made it to shore alive. The girl lies on the sand and is visited by a vision of her mother. A year goes by. Nancy gets her medical diploma and goes surfing on a beach in Texas with her sister. The girl's father says her mom would be proud of her. This is the end of the movie. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. Give this video a like. Write in the comments what you think about this movie, and see you in new videos.